During a quiet family dinner with my parents, my phone buzzed with a text from an unfamiliar number. Get up and leave right now. Don't say a word to your parents. Something about the tone made me listen without question. I stood up and walked away. That single decision changed everything. The following morning, police officers were at my parents' front door. It's strange how normal everything had seemed just before the world cracked open. I hadn't come expecting affection or warmth, but I definitely wasn't ready for what was about to happen. Something that, looking back, feels like the most dangerous kind of deception. Because when life looks perfectly ordinary, that's when you stop guarding yourself. And that's exactly when it strikes. When I arrived that evening, my mom's voice carried from the kitchen. Dinner's ready. Come in, we're just about to eat. Her cheerfulness felt rehearsed, as if I'd arrived late to a happy family gathering no one had told me about. My dad rose from his chair as I stepped into the dining room, a fraction too slowly, almost uncertain whether to go for a hug or just nod politely. We chose the nod. My sister was already at the table, phone in hand, wearing that classic mask of bored teenage indifference she'd perfected years ago. She looked up briefly, offered a half-second glance of acknowledgement, and went right back to scrolling. It didn't bother me. I hadn't come to be liked. The dining table was perfectly arranged. My chair was already pulled out. A glass of cranberry juice waited at my spot, just like always. Not fancy or festive, just plain juice. The kind I used to love as a kid. Mom smiled at me, her expression a little too practiced, like we were all actors in a play called Happy Family. You still like cranberry, right? She asked. I nodded, though I hadn't drunk it in months. Now wasn't the time to start that conversation. We sat down, and the meal began. Simple comfort food, chicken, potatoes, and green beans. My dad pretended to enjoy it. Though we all knew better, the conversation floated lightly, harmlessly. How's work? Still living in the same place? Traffic's been terrible lately, hasn't it? I responded in kind, smiling, laughing even, when my sister shared a story about one of her coworkers getting trapped in the revolving door at her office. It wasn't funny, but I laughed anyway. I knew my role, the quiet one, the steady one, the one who never stirred up trouble. Halfway through my dad's predictable rant about road construction, my phone vibrated against my leg. Absent-mindedly, I checked it under the table. The message was short and chilling. Get up and leave now. Don't say anything to your parents. There was no name, no emojis, no friendly tone, just sharp sentences ending in firm periods, like someone trying very hard to stay calm under pressure. I read it once. Then again. Around me, the scene stayed the same. My mom nodding at my dad's complaints, my sister eating quietly. It all looked like an ordinary family dinner. Yet somehow I knew it wasn't. Something in my gut told me this was real, that I needed to go. Still, I didn't move right away. My brain scrambled for explanations. A prank? A wrong number? A scam? Some bizarre social experiment? But none of those felt right. Deep down, I just knew. I'll be right back, I said casually, sliding my chair away from the table. Just need the bathroom. No one questioned me. No one even looked up. I took my phone and walked upstairs. The upstairs bathroom had a door that closed fully and a lock that actually worked, the only real privacy in that house. I shut the door, locked it, and sat down on the edge of the tub. The phone felt heavy in my hand as I reread the message one last time. Then, with my heart pounding, I pressed call. The phone rang once before a voice cut through the silence. You still there? Who is this? Mark, came the reply. Mark's my sister's boyfriend? Or maybe ex. It was hard to keep track. What's happening? What's going on? I asked, tension creeping into my voice. His tone was low, tight, like he was somewhere he shouldn't be. You have to leave. Right now. Stand up, walk out. Don't drink anything, just go. Don't touch the juice, my mouth felt parched. I hadn't taken a sip yet. Why? I whispered, I can't explain. Just trust me, he said, the urgency sharp. What? What's happening? I pressed. Why are you even... My words faltered. He paused. Please. Just get out of there. Not until you tell me why, I insisted. He said something then. Something I didn't respond to. The call ended, leaving me in silence. I stayed there a while, sitting on the cold bathroom tiles, feeling their chill seep through my clothes. Long enough to realize something crucial. I had a choice. And deep down, I had already made it. Being the older sister didn't come with a ceremony, just responsibility. Quiet, assumed, relentless. We were 3 years apart. When we were little, our parents gave us $5 a week. I saved mine. She spent hers, usually on gum, glitter pens, or whatever small treasures a child could find. Then she'd look at me, expectant, and the grown-up instinct kicked in. You don't have any left. You still have yours. Don't be selfish. It wasn't a rule. It was just the pattern. I saved, so I shared. She overspent, so I fixed it. In high school, I took a part-time job on weekends at a local pharmacy, enough to buy my own jeans without arguments. She didn't work, younger, exempt, and unbothered. But when she wanted extras, guess who was expected to step in? She really wants to see that movie. She doesn't have money yet. You do. The essentials were always covered by our parents, but anything extra became my responsibility. College brought some relief. I was far away, broke, busy, and temporarily free from the constant tug. She stayed in high school, and for a while it felt like I'd bought some space. After graduation, I got a junior developer role. Modest pay, basic benefits, just enough for rent and loans. To my parents, though, it was a goldmine. The requests began gradually. Could you help with her enrollment deposit? Books are so expensive. She's stressed about college. She didn't earn, didn't budget, and never asked me directly. That was always how it went. She'd approach them and they'd approach me. At first I agreed, thinking that now earning money helping would feel easier. It never did. The more I made, the more they asked, and none of it ever felt like mine. Then came the alcohol. In my early 20s, I discovered that my body couldn't handle it. Half a drink and I was out. Once, 2 sips of wine knocked me unconscious. Since then, nothing, not even champagne at weddings. My family knew, but accepting it fully was another matter. Come on, just a little. Don't be such a stick in the mud. You're not allergic, I refused. They rolled their eyes, acting as though I was being unreasonable. But it was never really about the drink. It was about how easily they dismissed me whenever it suited them. A few years into my career, I got a mid-level promotion. Not monumental, but real progress. I called my parents to share the news. That's great, my mom replied. So, how much are you earning now? Then came the familiar request. Do you think you could support your sister's semester abroad? She's thrilled. No congratulations, no acknowledgement, just the same pattern. Ask, expect, move on. Eventually, I stopped saying yes. There was no dramatic speech about boundaries. I simply stopped being available for their demands. I simply stopped. No more just this once. No more treating my account like a shared pot everyone dipped into. Maybe I'd buy her a coffee here or there, but the role of personal sponsor was over. Then came the silence. No messages, no calls. Just that oppressive quiet. heavy enough to feel deafening, as if they were punishing me with absence. Weeks slipped by. Then the silence shattered. Your sister needs help. It's urgent. They sent a number, $12,000. No explanations, just that she required it, that I could provide it, that I was her sister. I refused. They pressed, hard. I reached out to her directly. That's when everything came into focus. She had been gambling, losing. Now she owed money she didn't have. She was in finance, and if anyone discovered this, it wouldn't just cost her the job. It would destroy her career. No one hires someone with a gambling record, she said. If people find out, I'm done. Has this happened before? I asked. She didn't answer, but I didn't need her to. I said firmly, no, not later. Not partially, just no. I've supported you for as long as I can remember, but this I will not cover. Not now, not ever again. She called me cold, accused me of not understanding. Maybe she was right. Or maybe I simply didn't want to anymore. After that, they went silent. 3 weeks of nothing. Then the slow return. A meme forwarded by my dad, a snapshot of the backyard from my mom, a TikTok from my sister without caption. Finally, an invitation. We're having dinner. Just the family. Hope you can come. No mention of the money. No apologies. Just dinner. I convinced myself they'd accepted it, acknowledged my limits. So, when the invitation came, I agreed. But something about Mark felt off. His voice was quiet, almost detached, though tension threaded every word. It's the juice, he murmured. I think they spiked it. Alcohol or something else. I'm not sure. But I think they expect you to pass out. The room was silent around us. White tile floors, the faint hum of a ceiling fan, distant clinks of silverware from downstairs. I didn't respond immediately. Why? I finally asked. Another pause. They want to unlock your phone with your fingerprint. I picked up the glass, tilted it slightly, and smiled faintly. Tastes like I remember, I said, but I didn't drink a drop. Later, I asked casually, was that someone pulling into the driveway? All heads turned. That was my moment. Slowly, I slid the glass beneath the table, letting a trickle of juice soak into the carpet. Not the whole glass, just enough to sell the illusion. I just feel a bit off. Tired, I murmured. Mom leaned closer, eyes soft, full of concern, like a game we were playing together. You okay? She asked. Yeah, I said. Just a little woozy. I need to lie down for a minute, no hesitation. They helped me to the couch, gentle, careful, as if I were fragile, as if they were caretakers rather than intruders. I lay down, eyes closed, trying not to focus on the racing of my heart. Breathe, slow, even. Don't flinch. The cushion beneath me radiated warmth. A blanket draped over my legs. Then I heard it. Is she asleep? My mom whispered. She's out, my sister replied. Okay, my dad said. Let's do this quickly. I felt my phone being lifted, then something worse. Fingers pressing against my hand, my thumb guided to the sensor. A pause, a faint vibration, unlocked. The calm efficiency of it was horrifying. No hesitation, no doubt. They simply did it. Okay, my sister whispered. We're in, more tapping. The faint clicks of numbers being entered. Routing number? My dad muttered under his breath. She's got everything saved, my mom replied quietly. How much are we taking? She asked. Not all of it, my dad said after a pause. Just enough to cover things. Cover what? I wondered, keeping my breathing even, eyes closed. She'll never know, my mom added. If it processes cleanly, she'll think she sent it herself. I told you, my sister whispered. She always blacks out after a drink. We just needed her to sleep through it, and there it was, and spoken plainly, the plan. The three of them together, a few taps, a pause. It's asking for a code, my sister said. A code? My mom echoed. Two-step verification, she murmured. She changed it. My dad sighed, frustrated. Try another app, more tapping. Then silence. Same thing, my sister muttered. Everything's locked. A long, uneasy pause followed. Just put the phone back, my mom said finally. They did. No apology. No hesitation. Just calm efficiency. I waited motionless, counting the seconds. When the room felt still again, I opened my eyes slowly and sat up, blinking like someone waking from a shallow sleep. Sorry, I murmured. No idea what that was. Felt like I zoned out for a second. They looked at me strangely, like they didn't quite know who they were staring at. You sure you're okay? My dad asked. Yeah, I said softly. Just need a bit of air. I picked up my phone, holding it casually, pretending it wasn't just used against me. Actually, I think I'll head home. Got work early tomorrow, they nodded. No protest. No awkward attempt to make things normal again. Just a chorus of polite phrases. Thanks for coming. Drive safe. Text when you get back. Like we hadn't just crossed a line that couldn't be uncrossed. At the door, we hugged, my mom, my dad, my sister, one after another. It wasn't planned. Just habit. Muscle memory. And the moment it happened, something in me cracked. My mom's perfume. My dad's jacket brushing against my cheek. My sister's hand briefly touching my arm. Ordinary things. Familiar, comforting things. Now tainted. That's when the truth hit me. This would be the last time. The last time I hugged them. The last time I pretended we were still a family. I almost cried. Almost. But I didn't. I stepped back, smiled through the ache in my chest. Thanks for dinner, I said softly. They smiled back, unknowing. I opened the door and walked out. I didn't confront them. Didn't ask what they'd mixed into the drink. Didn't reveal what I knew, because I had already done something they never expected. Before I left the bathroom that night, I didn't block them from my phone. I left the fingerprint access exactly where they expected it. What I did change was the security on my bank. I activated real multi-factor authentication, not the basic kind, one they couldn't fake with my thumb. So when they tried to move the money, the app would log it, stop it, and create an irrefutable trail. Then I set up a recording, silent, invisible. No blinking red dot, no pop-up, nothing to warn them. That's what they didn't understand. I work in tech. My job is literally to build systems that outthink people trying to cheat them, and I knew exactly what they'd overlook. While they were unlocking my phone and attempting to drain my account, they were capturing every word of their own crime, every tap, every whisper. They thought I was unconscious. But I had been 2 steps ahead long before I even returned to the table. I drove to the police station like it was any other errand. Not racing, not trembling, just steady. Parked, walked in, and stood quietly in line behind a man asking about parking tickets. I approached the woman behind the glass and explained I needed to report a crime. What kind of crime? She asked. They drugged me, I said, and tried to steal from me. I have the recording. Her eyes widened slightly. Do you know who did it? Yes, I replied. My parents and my sister. Her expression shifted instantly. They gave me a chair in a quiet room with an officer who didn't ask why I hadn't gone to a hospital or why I wasn't crying. He simply listened. I played the audio clip. He stayed through the entire recording before looking at me and asking, "Do you understand what they were attempting?" "Yes," I said. "They were after my money." I forwarded him the file, walked him through the timestamps, and explained the activity logs on my banking app. He nodded repeatedly, taking careful notes, typing into a computer that looked like it hadn't been updated in a decade. "This is serious," he said. I shrugged lightly. "Yes, it is." He checked in on me, if I had a safe place to stay, whether I needed support of any kind. I told him I'd already taken care of that. It was my first time filing a police report, but I didn't feel fear. Not anymore. 2 days later, my phone erupted with notifications. 3 messages and a voicemail before noon. The first was from my mom. "Did you really report your own family? Then what is wrong with you?" I didn't respond. My sister left a voicemail, voice tight, almost trembling. "It was just a mistake. You made it worse than it needed to be." Next came a call from my dad. I let it go to voicemail. "Do you think the police will fix this? You're going to ruin everything. You don't do this to your own people." I texted one reply, "You drugged me. You tried to steal from me. That's not family. That's a felony." Then I cut them all off. Mom, dad, sister, every contact, every group chat, even emergency bypasses. I changed my phone number, updated my will, froze my credit. I expected it to hurt. Instead, it felt like finally exhaling. They didn't contest the charges. Not with the audio. Not with the precise banking logs matching the timestamps. Not when the detective said, "We can handle this." Attempted fraud, biometric misuse, conspiracy, administering a substance without consent, all 3 of them acting together. The court handed down probation, fines, community service, and a no-contact order. No prison time. But the mark stayed. I never reached out, never asked how things ended. Eventually, I heard, casually, that they'd sold the house. Debt, legal costs, trying to salvage whatever was left. The family? Silent. As for my sister, I ran into her once at a grocery store across town. She didn't see me, or maybe she did, and deliberately looked away, focused on a shelf like it held all the answers. Dressed in a polo and vest, stacking paper towels, avoiding eye contact. Finance didn't suit her, it seemed. I said nothing, bought my pasta, and left. Her boyfriend? Gone. Heard from a mutual acquaintance. Moved out a few weeks after everything came to light. Quietly. No fuss. Some truths don't need explanation. They speak for themselves. And me? No more messages asking for help. No group chats. No guilt disguised as obligation. I work, I sleep. I open my fridge and know every item inside is mine, bought by me, for me. Cutting ties didn't feel cruel. It felt cleansing. So what do you think? Did I go too far? Or not far enough? Drop a comment. And don't forget to subscribe.